Hey, my Liptons. So, first of all, let me just say this. Um, I want to get into I want to get into the South Indian film industry of film industry, okay? Because I've previously discussed very briefly at times. I'm like, the South has really came into my radar. I would say the past few years. Of course, I've always knew about it, but being a foreigner to the the Indian film industry, I was always I grew up on Bollywood. Okay, I grew up on the Hindi film industry, right? So that was always marketed to me. That was what was shown to me as a kid growing up. Like it could either be the movies, it can be the TV shows. I've discussed previously on my channel my favorite ZTV TV shows, which are all in Hindi, of course. So I always grew up with the Hindi film industry. Okay, I always knew about Telugu and I always knew about Tamil, but it was different from what I was used to. So I just always sticked with with the Hindi, with Bollywood and stuff like that. I would say going back to like Bahubali is when I really started to come into the radar of the South Indian film industry, right? And I think that with SS Rajmouli, Prabhas, like in a lot of ways, I guess you could say they were like the flag bearers for the South becoming. And let me just say this: I think the South have has always been popular. I just think that we as like the casual fans and so forth are catching on to the magnificence and the success and the gumption of the South Indian film industry, right? So I've noticed, for the past 2 to 3 years, there has been this conversation about, what is going on with Bollywood, and Bollywood's like, they're going through their hate train era. Like they're going through, they're, people are dragging them for their nepotism. And I'm not saying that to say like the South doesn't do nepotism as well. Cause like there are other people that, if you look at Charan, some other individuals as well. They've also had their fathers and so forth in the industry, but obviously Bollywood, the way Bollywood presents themselves and how they tout their nepotism is more arrogant compared to like the South, I guess you can say. So, and like I said, this is coming from someone that grew up on Bollywood, so I'm just saying that to say I've noticed it, and it's become clear as time goes on. You know, Bollywood has been going through their hate train era, I would say like the past 4 to 5 years, especially with the whole situation that's going on that happened with Sushant Rajput, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing his name. And the South has really took over. And so when you look at Bahubali and you look at Bahubali 2 and you look at RRR went on to win an Oscar. Like they won the Golden Globe, they won the Oscar. Like RRR, I would say became that's when the West truly was like, okay, we're here. What is the Telugu film industry giving? What is the Tamil film industry giving? Malayalam, like we want to see what's going on in the South Indian film industry, and I've noticed ever since like the success of the South, the Hindi film industry and the people in there, Karan Johar, whoever, they like to, latch on to like, okay, whatever is successful, let's just go over there, let's just play nice, let's just do whatever. I've noticed that, but people, people are starting the it's shifting. The energy is shifting within our society, and so I saw this news. I think what was it? 2 days ago? Was it? No, no, it was yesterday. I saw this news yesterday. Pushpa, mind you, I didn't even research. I didn't go to any of the blog sites, any of the the Indian blog sites or anything like that. I was just on Pop Base. Pop Base is an American based blog site. So Pop Base ends up posting this about Pushpa, saying that Pushpa earns the biggest opening day in Indian cinema history, surpassing RRR. Do y'all know how amazing that is? Do y'all know how like extremely amazing and like magnificent that is? And if y'all remember, for the people that weren't like really too much paying attention to when RRR came out, like RRR became a sensation. Everybody was doing the not to not to, like everybody was just on the RRR train. Like everybody was hyping it up. Everybody was hyping it up and wanting it to win an Oscar. When it won its Golden Globe, I remember that too. So the fact that Pushpa 2 ended up becoming surpassing RRR, like if it is not cemented already, now we can clearly say at this point, and this is coming from still someone as a fan of the Hindi film industry, still a fan of Bollywood. Of course, I'm more of a fan of like old Bollywood, but you know, as someone that I grew up on the Hindi film industry and I'm more comfortable with that compared to maybe a Telugu and a Tamil, because for me personally, I think that Hindi is more of like, for my own personal taste, is more of like a digestible language than Telugu and Tamil. But I also have to give the props where props are due. To me, I think that the South Indian film industry has now surpassed Bollywood, has not surpassed the Hindi film industry. And y'all could be mad that I said it. Anyway, and that might be controversial. That might be an unpopular opinion. Oh, me at this point, I think it's a popular opinion because clearly, y'all, Pushpa 2 became the biggest opening in Indian cinema history, surpassing. Oh, are you serious? Clearly, this is a popular opinion. To me, there are way more people are checking in to what the South is doing, checking in to see Telugu cinema, checking in to see Tamil cinema, checking in to see Malayalam cinema, Bengali cinema. Like they're checking in with that, and that's why you see a lot of times a lot of the Hindi, especially the Hindi nepo star kids, flocking to work with South Indian actors. Like when you look at John V. Kapoor, yes, I understand John V. Kapoor's mother is South Indian, but still, even with that, like she had to get Kahan Johar to, force her way into Divada. The same thing with Alia Bhatt. Alia Bhatt went over there, basically begging and crawling to SS Rajmouli to be in RRR, even though her role was like she barely had a presence in that movie, you know. And the Hindi film industry is very desperate right now to get a hit, you know. And we gotta be honest, y'all. Like the South is really doing their thing. And I think that the South, they're very. And Karan Johar said this, and I'm not too much of a big fan of Karan Johar, but like he did state this one time. He was like, people within the South, like they have conviction, and are they believe in what they're doing, and they're passionate, and they're comfortable with whatever they want to put out there. They don't follow any trends. They don't follow any, just because one person or one actor is doing one thing, then all the rest of them do the same thing, like what they did in Bollywood. So I just think that the South is really, really, it they are. And I know, like, especially after RRR won the Oscar, I remember I think I was watching Jaya Bachchan. I think she was either in Parliament or something, in the in the Congress or something. She was like, "Oh, we are all Indian cinema. We're not just South or North or whatever, whatever." And it's like, listen, and that is true. Yes, everything is Indian cinema, whether it's South, North, whatever. But I think that too, like, it's very funny with the North, with what Hindi cinema has done. Like for the longest time, right? Even when I was growing up, in the West, Bollywood has always positioned themselves as like the only cinema within India. They've always positioned themselves as of like, yeah, we're the top. Like, we're Hindi cinema is the best cinema in India. Like, yes, we are the trendsetters. We're the ones that is carrying this baton. And anytime when there has ever been a success within the South, prior to Bahubali and anything like that, anytime when there's been success in the South, it was always deemed as, oh, well, that's like that's regional cinema. That's not anything that's like to be taken seriously. So it's very funny now when I look at it, or when I see Karan Johar or Jay Bachchan or whoever, now try to, I guess, leech onto the success of the South, and instead of giving Telugu, Tamil actors, actresses, directors, producers, whoever, instead of giving them their own individual props and saying, like, you know what, the South Indian film industry is doing their thing. Instead of doing that, they want to latch onto it. They want to make it seem like, okay, well, their success is our success. When it's like, well, in the past, if Bollywood or Hindi film industry success was, it was doing the numbers at the box office, that was their success. You wouldn't see, Tamil or Telugu actors or actresses claiming the success of Hindi films. So it's very interesting now that I'm noticing that, like, anytime, like, when the South has any success mainstream rise, especially if it kind of bleeds over to the West, and the West are also recognizing the South and giving them their props and giving them a platform, I've noticed that, like, Bollywood will also try to leech onto that and also make it theirs. So that's very interesting. And this is one of the reasons why I feel like people are kind of tired of Bollywood, tired of the Hindi film industry, is because, yes, because they're flocking to the South. That is one. They're flocking to the South Indian films. But also, Bollywood is just not the same. Let's look at this article. Bollywood is, because I've noticed that I was on SRK's page. I was on Shah Rukh Khan's page. But even prior to Shah Rukh Khan, because I was reading something, and then I saw that Dal, the film that was released, I believe, in 1998, with Aishwarya Rai and Akshay Khanna. That film got re-released a couple of months ago, and I was like, okay. But then by the next thing I think, when was it? Yesterday, the day before, I was on Shah Rukh Khan's page, and I saw that Karan Arjun, which was a film back in, like, what, 1994 or something, that is also getting re-released. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Why are these films getting re-released? First Dal, now Karan Arjun, and maybe they had, older. Of course, don't get me wrong, I have no issues with it personally, because I think those films are classics. But it's like, and and obviously there might have been older films that got re-released in the past, but it is interesting that they're getting, first, it's not like Dal got released this year, and then they said next year, okay, we're gonna re-release Karan Arjun. Everything's happening all in this year, and I'm like, why is this happening? But then I had to think about it. I'm like, well, like I said, Bollywood is struggling. They're struggling to get a hit. Okay, so it says here, and shout out to Al Jazeera. There's an article from Al Jazeera. They said, "Old is gold. Why Bollywood is turning to re-releases amid strings of flops." Okay, as more and more contemporary films fail, producers and exhibitors fall back on time-tested fare and star power to lure viewers back to theaters. Okay, it says here, I'm gonna be skimming through this. I'm not gonna read everything. For the 27-year-old company editor, getting to watch the two-part film felt like finally being introduced to the most memed movie in Indian pop culture. So this film was gangs of Wasipur. Okay. He found himself commuting for 3 hours. Okay, blah blah blah. I came into Hindi cinema much later in life. I missed out on seeing this on the big screen when I was studying abroad. Okay, so they're talking about a particular person that's being introduced to Bollywood right now. Okay, let's continue. There's a lot in this article. Okay, let's continue. Let's get to the point. Dozens of films have hit the eateries in many cities this year, far more than ever before, as the country's nearly 200 billion film industry looks to revive its fortunes after taking multiple hits in recent years. In a country like India, which produces more films in a year than Hollywood, which is true. To this day, I have to give the Indian film industry their credit. I don't know how these people be like those are workhorses over there. Like the actors and actresses, I have to appreciate them either in Bollywood, Tollywood, all of y'all from the north, the south, the east, the west, Bengali, y'all work hard over there because I couldn't imagine me seeing Leonardo DiCaprio like 5 times, 5 movies in a year. Like that would be crazy. But yeah, which produces more films a year in Hollywood. Cinema is essentially a mass media most enjoyed in the dark and dreamy confines of a film theater, showing of its latest offering on a 70 mm screen. But coronavirus, okay, blah blah blah. And of course, not just Bollywood, but the Indian film industry as a whole has also had to, gone to OTT, which is like more like the social media, like, the apps, like, ZTV, like Apple TV, going to those kinds of apps to do films and put it on those platforms, like streaming services and stuff like that. India, okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, Al Jazeera, y'all got y'all facts. Y'all made this a long article, okay? Let's skim through this. So it says here, then there's a rising cost of making full-length films. Stars, mainly men, are now paid unprecedented fee. Okay, yeah. So it says here, recently prominent producer and director Karan Johar told journalists that the star fees in Bollywood were not in touch with reality. Okay. To make matters worse, Bollywood in recent years has been witness to a string of flops, with even big multiplex chains such as PVR Nix incurring heavy losses, therefore forced to be more imaginative with their offerings. It was against such a backdrop that theater owners and filmmakers decided to re-release old films. Okay, so now we're getting to the main topic. Many of films that have returned to theaters were runaway successes the first time around, while others weren't until now. Okay. Well, I guess Karan Johar was a runaway success. I mean Karan Arjun was a runaway success. I don't know, but then again, I've heard it was a hit when it got released. Okay, so we're gonna skim this. There are usually two kinds of viewers going in for re-releases. The first is the people who miss these films in theaters. Okay, so some people either might have been born at that time, might have been kids, depends. Maybe they saw it on OTT and felt like having a theatrical experience of it. Or there's people who have memories, nostalgia attached to a film and want to revisit, he said. Okay. Indian film trade analysts saying the success, blah, 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 blah. There's a long article. Okay, if y'all wanted to, you see right here. See, this is Shah Rukh Khan. This is the tweet that I saw. 30 years of Karan Arjun. Of course, they got to make it into an anniversary to have it re-released. Not to say that it's not the film. I watched the film when I was a kid. I loved the film. But I'm going to watch the film online. I'm not about to go in person. It says here, because it's complicated, time-consuming, blah, blah. It's not just Bollywood or Hindi cinema that's cashing in on nostalgia, which is true. That's the thing. I'm not going to say not as if, like, Hollywood is also not doing the same thing. Hollywood is very much so. And I've been dragging it for the longest. Look at this whole Snow White live action thing, which, by the way, I need to go watch my pop culture video where I discussed that in that segment about the Snow White live action. But yeah, like, Hollywood is doing it. Bengali classic. Okay, so Bengali cinema is also doing it. The South. So, they're all doing it. Tamil is also, getting in there as well. I think here's my thing though, right? Here's my thing. And there's another article. This is more like of a glowy piece about the Bollywood re-releases. So there's Karan Arjun again. 13 iconic Bollywood movies that got a second chance at glory. So I should definitely see Tal on this because I saw Tal got released like a couple of months ago. So it says it got an Arjun. Now re-released on cinemas November. Okay, so it got released around Thanksgiving. Set to re-release. Okay. What else? So Karan Arjun. Okay, that was released in 1995. Oh, Kalhona Ho. Kalhona was being re-released? Oh, it already got re-released. I had no idea. So that's also getting re-released. That got re-released. This I don't understand why this is getting re-released. This was 2009. Yeah, I think that this was like 30, like 40 years ago. Like, yeah, we definitely could have watched this on streaming platforms. Are you serious? But I did. Okay. This was another hit too. This movie was a hit. Shah Rukh Khan. Oh blah di. Oh blah da da. Oh blah do what to do. Okay. Meri Mehbooba. Yes, vocals. Why is this getting re-released? This was released in 2018. Come on, y'all. Come on. Rockstar shouldn't also be re-released. 2011 was not that long ago. Okay, yes. But Hamab Kekon, you know, this was a huge movie. You know, this was like a huge blockbuster. So I think a lot of people already saw this already. I'll be surprised about the box office numbers. This we could have done without this. Yeah, Jawan Hyatt. Yeah, we could have done without this movie. 2013, like I'll be honest with y'all. Anything 20s, anything 2000s, I don't think it should be re-released right now. Like, because I think that it's too soon. Like 2013, you got 2011 films. Jobby Man, okay. I'm going to this is where my hypocrisy side is going to come out. Because I love Jobby Man so much. I can see why people, I can see why they want this film to get re-released. But yeah, this got re-released in 2023. Listen, like I said, 2000 films, not right now. It hasn't been 30 years. Yeah, this got re-released last year too. Dilwali got re-released. 2001. I actually haven't watched this film. I didn't watch this film. I need to watch it to see. I don't know what this is. Tumbat. Okay, y'all could have kept this. Y'all could have kept this. Y'all could have kept this one too. Shah Rukh, I love you down, but like, this was 2007, please. Oh, I don't know why I don't see Dal here. Dal got re-released too this year. All I'm saying is that I'm noticing that there is a bunch of re-releases in Bollywood because there isn't enough box office success currently. Okay. I think that the South is currently in charge of that boat. They are taking it to the bank. They are bringing new eyeballs to Indian cinema. And I think that Bollywood has lost its mojo. Bollywood has lost its charm. And I think, and you know what, in a way, not to be, because it might sound like I'm gloating and everything, but like, it's truly sad. Because I am a fan of Hindi cinema. Like, I watch old, like, currently, I just finished Amra Prem. I just finished Aradhana. So it's like, I'm a fan of oldest gold Hindi cinema. I love it. So to see Bollywood not be at the level that it used to be, not just money-wise and box office-wise, but creatively, it seems like Bollywood is creatively bankrupt right now. So, you know, and people are tired. People are tired of the arrogance of a lot of these actors, these actresses in Hindi cinema. The directors, no shade, Karan Johar, like they're tired of the arrogance of them. So that's why people are flocking to the South, because they feel like the South, you know, they feel like they're more humble, whether they're failing or whether they're successful. They seem like they're more humble about where they are, so that could be the appeal. And that's why, you can see Pushpa 2 is like the fact that this became the biggest shows you how incredibly hungry people are for South Indian content. Anyway, yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I know this was kind of like a long video. I didn't mean it to be that way. But y'all know I can go into my tangents. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below about my commentary on this. I want to hear, different opinions on this. And please subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. The goal is to get to 1,000. Thank y'all so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.